Hello and welcome to Armchair Expert. Today is live from Los Angeles, home base for Armchair Expert.
Old stomping ground.
Yeah.
Current stomping ground.
Current and old stomping grounds. We had a heck of a live show.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It was star-studded and one of the funniest guests we've ever had, Thomas Middleditch.
What a dream, Tom.
He was a dream. I think we both fell head over heels in love with Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of just staring at him longingly.
Yeah, there were I had to cut out 5 minutes of silence because you're just staring.
Well, in addition to a phenomenal guest, Thomas Middleditch, we also have two unique songs you'll hear. At the very beginning, Andrew Bird is playing his single Sisyphus off of his new record, My Finest Work Yet, and that's out March 22nd. And then at the end of the episode, the long-anticipated unveiling of Oopsies by Bob Mervak.
Which you probably already heard on Bob's episode.
You heard his first crack at it.
Yep.
And now you can hear the full symphonic experience.
Yeah.
And of course, Bob is our in-house resident musical genius. So stick around for that. It's a lot of fun. And that's available on iTunes, Apple Music, and all streaming platforms right now. So buckle up and enjoy live from Los Angeles.
Peered into the mist, a stone's throw from the precipice pause. Did he jump or did he fall as he gazed into the morning mist? Did he raise both fists and say to hell with this and just let the rock roll? Let it roll, let it crash down low. There's a house down there but I lost it long ago. Flail like a god on a lighted rod. History forgets the moderates. Those who sit recalcitrant and taciturn. You know I'd rather turn and burn than scare this edifice, yeah. Oh, where's my accomplice? So take my hand, we'll do more than stand. Take my hand, we'll claim this land. And take my hand and we'll let the rock roll. Let it roll and it crash down low. There's a house down there but I lost it long ago. Let it roll and it crash down low. See my house down there but I lost it long ago. Lost it long ago. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. I'm letting it roll away. It's got nothing to do with fate and everything to do with He's an armchair expert. 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 He's an armchair expert.
First of all, thank you guys so much. So much. We sit in an attic as big as this piece of carpet, but until we come to something like this, it's just really hard to comprehend. And I think I speak for Monica and I when our hearts are fucking exploding. So thank you so much. I didn't need to use my crutches tonight. I could have come out. I could have done it. I could have walked on this foot. I had surgery 48 hours ago. And I'm going to tell you a really quick little story that will explain why I'm using the crutches. I one time cut my toe at home about 8 years ago. And there was a fair amount of blood. Not a ton of blood, but enough that it soiled about 9 squares of toilet paper. And Kristen was at work, and I really wanted her to know that this tragedy had occurred in her absence. So I put the blood-stained toilet tissue on top of the trash can, like very meticulously, like art designed. Oh, she'll see that for sure. You can't miss that. She's gonna be terrified what happened to me. And my sister was over, and she threw some trash on it, and then so throughout the day I was panicked, like, oh, someone's gonna cover that up. So several different times throughout the day I went and removed trash so that would be on top. And then Kristen came home and sat down on the commode, as she does. She's a human too. Angels poop. They do. They have to go. And I was just kind of hovering around the sink, like, how was your day? Mine was okay. Nothing. Not one thing. Finally, I was like, boy, what do you think of that trash can next to you? She's like, oh yeah, it's a little bit of blood on the tissue. Did you position that so I would see it? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. She's like, do you need any help? No, I don't want any help. I hate being helped, but I want you to feel bad for me. So suffice to say, I've used my crutches. I could have got by without them, but here we are. The procedure I had was to remove something in my third toe. There was a very, very tiny little critter that had adhered to one of my phalanges. And when they pulled her out, I said, isn't that the most beautiful little baby ever? And her name's Monica Padman, and I brought her tonight. You guys, there's a perfect 10
Charlie right there.
You guys, if you look through that square, the perfect 10 is in the house.
There he is.
Yes!
Oh,
I feel
my
less than
goodness.
already.
Yeah.
Also, I feel obliged to point out that during the Christmas special, you had bought me a beautiful present, and I had not gotten you anything.
A car. I bought you a car.
A car, a Ferrari FF.
Yeah.
But I had gotten this beautiful sweater for Monica that she was nice enough to wear. So you'll see there's cute little arm cherries on it. And then this
For
is
you
the
guys.
kick-ass jacket that Robbie robbed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're pretty well outfitted.
We look good.
We have a uniquely talented guest tonight.
Oh, yeah.
A very funny gentleman. It's a man. If you're a fan of the program, and we are, Silicon Valley, he is the lead of that show. He is an Emmy-nominated actor. He also has you thinking about switching from AT&T to Verizon. Thomas Middleditch! I don't know how. Was your phone open?
No, I wanted to make sure. I saw the tinkle of a
Of a tinkle?
You know how gold, pure gold, as my zippers are.
Oh, sure.
You know how pure gold tinkles in the light. You're supposed to mention lazy boy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
as you guys can see, we're horrendously comfortable. Y'all are not, but we've been well appointed by the kind folks at Lazy Boy. So thank you guys. Thanks, Lazy
Thanks,
Boy.
Thomas, for reminding us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Keeping
Thank
us
you so
on track
much.
already.
Yeah, you got it. I'm the king of sponsorship.
You really are. Thomas Middleditch with a gold zipper,
With a pure gold zipper.
flame socks with hot dogs on them.
Ooh.
These are s'mores socks. I think it's really important to do visual-based observation on a podcast.
Yes. It
What
translates
I've got
so
on
well.
are some pretty sweet socks that have a campfire and s'mores on them.
I did think I'm a little injured. I'm injured as I've been talking about. I'm
Sure.
hoping everyone feels bad for me. And I thought,
I think you got a couple.
I'm not going to be shooting bullseye, so I better bring out a heavy hitter, Thomas Middleditch, set the
Sure.
stage.
Yeah,
You do live shows.
I do.
Yeah, you and a mutual friend,
Yes, there's a young gentleman called Benjamin Schwartz.
Ben Schwartz.
Ben Schwartz. He's a very funny individual. He and I do two-person improv, make 'em ups. Mm-hmm. Goof 'em ups, goof 'em downs. Silly
Anyway,
silly
sideways.
town shows. Where we just go up, we get a suggestion, and we perform for about an hour and a half for you.
You're getting suggestions from the audience.
Yeah.
Locations, this kind of thing.
No, we'll usually ask a question. We kind of want to get some kind of real answer, something from someone who's willing to shout it out, and we'll maybe ask a few follow-up questions, and then just let that inspire the show. Sold out Carnegie Hall. So if anyone's sitting there and be like, yeah, but is it good? I don't know. You fucking do the math.
Yeah. No, I would
So-
say you sell out Carnegie Hall, then tell me that it's not good, right? That's
Exactly.
step one.
Exactly.
I've also
So-
seen it, and I can say that it's incredible. So if anyone gets the chance
Should
to
we
see
bounce
that,
and go to that
can we
show?
get Ben
Yeah.
out here and you guys just do improv?
He'd be a better guest. But I would say this is all in promotion of those shows. But you know what? You can't go because it's all fucking sold out. So who cares?
Sorry.
None of this matters. We don't
Sorry
need your
about
help.
it.
Now, I was going to bring
Next
this.
question.
I was going to bring this up later, but you look much different when you have facial hair.
Oh yeah. Some
I-
say better. Some say worse.
Well, what does your wife say? That's probably most
She's
important.
into it. She wants full beard. I say I'll give you as much mustache as I can grow with a little bit of buffer in between. I'm a big fan of the mustache buffer beard look.
You wear it so well.
I
and
agree.
I say this with all sincerity. So,
I
again,
agree.
in preparation to this, I went down, and I urge all of you to do so. I went down a Thomas Middleditch wormhole, rabbit hole, on his Instagram page, which is, I have to maintain, probably the funniest page in existence.
But
But it has a weird name, right? It's not, and I wrote it down. I could
did you?
look, but you could tell me.
Yeah, it's Tom Beanie. Tombini.
Why is it Tom Beanie?
That's an old nickname that a friend of mine from middle school gave me, Tom Beanie. Tom Beanie Warrior, but I nixed the warrior because I felt that was like pretty presumptive. If I was like, I'm a warrior, and anyone who'd scroll through the feed would be like, you are most assuredly not, sir.
Let me think that through. There has to be a period in history that you would have been a very tough warrior.
I'm badass online. You catch me online?
You clap back, don't you? You clap the fuck back.
Hell yeah. Shit, son.
One of your characters just has a beanie on below the eyes, and I guess you're promoting. So you're going to be spinning somewhere or something. Who's that
Maybe.
guy? Who's that?
I don't even remember.
Fuck, so many characters. You've forgotten more characters than I ever even created.
A lot of them are brain farts. I got to be honest. A lot of them are. It'll be something, and I'll put it out there, and then you're only seeing the ones that I don't immediately delete after. That I get too scared with. You know?
But will you see something? You see a guy and you go like, "Oh, I think I could mimic that person. I'm going to do it right now."
I don't know. Lately, I like darkness. Lately, I like sadness and darkness.
Great.
So
Don't we
a
all?
lot of my characters are like, well, I just
I got home, obviously had to shoot my 12 dogs dead. You
Oh,
know,
geez.
and it's a
Was
this
one
is
of them sick?
No, well, one of them was, but you never know when
If it
they
spread.
can contaminate the others.
Okay. So just as a safety measure, you culled the
Just
whole
gunned
herd.
them down.
You gunned them right down.
Capone style.
And this is a classic example of my classic characters. Dog killer guy.
When you go tour, do you ever say, "Can we get a suggestion, an animal that I could kill?" And then you just work
and then
on
we'll
that.
do a full 90.
But I will say, when you're going through, you employ these. I guess they were Snapchat filters.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll do it natch, as they say in the biz.
Oh, fat naturals. Yeah. I know.
Big fatty natchies.
Yeah, big fat naturals. By the way.
Oh.
Thomas doesn't even listen to the show, and
Yeah.
he's hip to fat naturals.
Yeah, he already
That should be a
brought it up.
feather.
I know.
Here, let me tell you something. I play a little pen and paper. I play a little D&D. I play a little GURPS. When you're rolling, when in my cool ass group, when you roll a 20, which is a critical hit, you call those big fat natural crits.
Fuck yeah, you do.
That's what we call them, because we're cool. And there's a lady in the group.
That's
no.
right.
She says it too.
Is there really a lady? in
Yeah,
your-
so it's sex positive.
Okay.
And she likes it. She likes it.
She has to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she'll be ejected from the
Yeah.
group.
That's right. Well, Monica was unfamiliar with the term as of about 3 months ago, and I had to walk her through what a euphemism is. It's a real nice expression. There's nothing negative about it.
Are you kidding me?
Well, you got the
Yeah.
term naturals in there. We all like eating natural organic foods.
Yeah, it's California.
Yeah.
You also
Right.
got BJJs, big juicy jugs. That's a little bit more forward.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's more down the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not as organic as the previous one.
No, that's just like, you like those BJJs?
But I
gotta
was
get 'em.
saying,
To use it in a sentence.
and what is the country of origin?
Good old US of A, baby.
I was saying the word fat associated is not the most pleasant.
No. When
Hold on. You want to take this or you want me to take it?
all I can say
Let
is when
Thomas take it. He's our guest.
Okay.
because when you're talking about breasts,
Bruce.
bursts.
Bruce.
When you're talking about bursts,
Okay, sure.
you want them plump. You want
Okay.
them thick, tick.
You want them fat
you
as
want
fuck.
You want them like obese. You want these big.
Morbidly obese.
Okay. Okay.
You don't want these. Oh man, I'm not eating carbs today. Tits. You don't want those.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you want tits that reside at a sizzler.
Yeah.
You want. I'll
Yeah.
have the Guinness tits.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys are lucky because we're going to have to cut all this out.
That's right. We just lost
can't do that.
ZipRecruiter.
That's
we
right.
just,
Bye, ZipRecruiter. Bye-bye. But I bet
although
we...
they can help you find a set of fat
That's
naturals
right.
faster
Oh, you
than
kidding
any. They'll have fat naturals applying for your job. You won't be asking for fat naturals. They'll be knocking on your door. Hey, want to work?
Yeah. Fat naturals took our jobs. Build the wall.
MeUndies also loves...
Well, fuck. Should I expose you this deeply?
Sure. I don't know
So
what you have to
yesterday
say.
got a very exciting gift mailed to the house from MeUndies, and it was a bottom and upper set.
Wine and cheese print. Guys, it's so cute.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Wine and cheese print.
That's the print on it.
Healthy, a lot of healthy fats and cheese. A lot of healthy fats.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I'll tell
Monica
you,
took.
you pair a little wine and cheese with these s'mores, you got yourself an evening, my friend.
Oh, hell yeah.
Just saying, keep an open mind.
Okay, keeping it. It's open.
If I walked into a room and saw those on the floor next to the wine and cheese under
Oh, what a
Dungarees,
cute...
the unmentionables,
Yeah.
You'd just be like, what a
someone's
couple of
pregnant.
dorks.
Yeah,
What a pair.
they're gonna play D&D together.
Look at these two art students fumbling around in the dark.
Well, Monica took one look at the upstairs, the top portion of the pair, and she said, not
It's
going
not
to
gonna
cover
fit.
anything. Yeah.
not gonna fit.
Oh,
Yes,
why?
yeah.
Because
Just to bring-
Well,
they were too
mine
small
eat
and
at
you're too big?
McDonald's. That's why. They
Wait,
eat at
oh, you're-
Sizzler. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is exciting. I know I'm not supposed to be excited about that, but I can't stop smiling. This is an
It's
insight
okay.
into the male brain. Just you kind of bragging about having tits.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
This is a great turn to the conversation. I'm uncontrollably happy about it.
I'm here to please. That's my job here.
It rules. It rules. It rules.
Now, do you, because I also have a predilection for the male form, I would be just as excited if there were a male here talking about his pecs, his hamstrings, trapezius, latissimus majoris,
Sure.
testicles, scrotum.
Sure.
Do you like that too? Because I genuinely love that.
I can appreciate, definitely. And when I see a hottie, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say something.
You're gonna catcall.
What up, dude? Sick hammies?
Fuck, hey, stop sprinting, brother. Like a hamstring.
I must admit, I like that. I like that sort of top man, emaciated British schoolboy look. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. I have a friend, Ford model. He's got
Ooh.
that look. And he's not English, but he could be.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, oh, I forgot to take my heroin today. Oh.
And he's bored. Is he always bored?
What time is it? Never mind, I don't care.
Hey, Todd, how was the Super Bowl?
Oh, didn't watch it. Was too busy in the back getting my cock sucked. Didn't even like it. Was with a guy and a girl, whatever. Because he's Pan in my fantasy.
He's so bored with all of it.
Yeah, but he's pretty open-minded.
What do you think of the firework?
And he just strums the guitar, but not looking at you. I don't like that.
There's something uniquely uncomfortable about a musician playing in your home and staring into your eyes. And this is something I do to Monica ad
You do
nauseum.
this all the
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Ziprecruiter.
Yeah.
Oh, ziprecruiter. See, I'll go right down the
can't.
fucking barrel, right in the pipe. I don't care if they catch me in the lens.
Give her the juice.
I got to.
Juice.
It's very unsettling.
Sincerely, though, do you, when you were younger, did you love guys with muscles in movies and stuff? Because I couldn't get enough.
100%.
I'm
That's weird that
being
you say that
sincere.
because it was my obsession.
Was it?
Really?
Yeah, as a thin man, as a skinny boy, I was such a thin man.
Thin man,
that
yes.
My dad, English.
My dad.
My daddy. Well, dear old fucking dad.
Me Poppy.
He would be like, Tom, you want a milkshake?
Well,
I'd be
hold
like,
on. Time out
Hold
for
on.
1 second.
Okay, let's
Oh, yeah,
pause.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
don't get into the
Unload
story
the
just
pistol
yet.
for half a second. In real life, Tom is from Canada, which
Yeah.
is our friendly neighbor to the north. No one seems to be worried about putting a fence between us, but that's neither here nor there. A small town, Nelson.
It's going to be a real
known for-
fucking right-on fence, though, bud.
Yeah.
This fence is
And
going
the
to be
Great White
kick-ass,
North.
eh?
Yeah. Just out for a rip, are you, bud?
Yeah, man.
So, from Nelson, which is a tiny mining town, and then
Turned hippie town.
but with draft dodgers, which is unique.
Yeah, in the
right?
60s, they came up and said, we're going to make this place far out, dude.
And they fucking succeeded.
Hell yeah.
You can't get a better sprout sandwich north of Montana than in Nelson.
Now you're going to get
BC.
just a ton of hemp sweaters.
They're not comfortable hemp sweat. I don't
Hemp
care how
is
good
like-
they are for the environment.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
not-
super enthusiastic about the philosophy behind hemp,
Yes.
but just don't make me look like someone who sells beads.
Right. It makes for a great rope if you're a nautical person.
Bro,
You gotta
if you're
throw
into
'em on.
ropes-
Bro, you fucking like ropes?
Bro, you...
Dude,
you're
I
into
knew that
ropes?
we both like comedy, but ropes?
Yeah.
And muscles?
Ropes and muscles.
Okay, so in real life, Thomas's parents are British, which I'm curious about, but I won't interrupt further. I just want you to know that when he talks like a British person, this is legit. Continue!
Where was I? Thinman.
Thinman.
I was so picky, such a picky eater, I wouldn't touch anything, and I was wasting away, and my dad would be like, you want a milkshake, Tom? And I'd be like, yeah, oh man, my holdout worked, sucker, you fucking idiot.
Walked right into this.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I knew if I only ate macaroni every day, I'd get a milkshake. Ya bitch. Little did I know, years later I find out this milkshake had protein powder and raw eggs in it. And butter.
Wow.
It was
Good for
like
him.
ice cream butter, like anything. He was just
Lot of
so
healthy
desperate
fats.
to put weight on me.
Did
And-
they taste horrible?
No, it was awesome.
They were
I was
beautiful.
like, oh, what a sucker. Like, I had a curly straw and everything. Like, like feet up. Saved by the Bell. Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, great segue. Zach Morris, what a physique.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Those kids in high school were fucking jacked.
Dude, all of them
AC
The
are
other one
Slater.
is now on, he's a very nice gentleman. Mario Lopez was
He's a
AC
hottie.
Slater, yeah. He was the hunk. He was
Slater.
the wrestler.
He was on the wrestling team,
Yeah.
which meant steroids.
That's what I just
But
said.
Yeah.
So no one in my high school looked like that, right? With
No.
humongous pectoris and,
No,
and latissimus and
I think in high school, if you're jacked, you're still kind of like,
you just have a hairy dick. Like that makes you. Like, that guy's fucking jacked. It's just you're just noticing he has a lot of hair in the locker room.
that's funny.
I went too far. I'm so sorry.
No, but
Well,
I checked it with Monica, and she looked at me like that. No one
Didn't
wants.
make
I don't
sense.
know.
No.
But I will say, it's so funny. Teenage boys are such turds. Like, in middle school, I remember everyone was so utterly homophobic. You know, gay is the biggest insult of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You were even gay if you jacked off. Because you're touching a dick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
my
like,
God.
what, you
The
jack off,
logic
dude?
kinda
Oh,
holds.
gay.
The
It's
logic-
like, what is it? How is it?
The logic holds.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. What's so funny? I'm going to tell a really embarrassing story. The very first time I masturbated.
Okay.
This,
Oh, boy.
This kid. It was
Okay.
basically Inception.
Okay.
Let's see. You're
Listening.
peeling your socks down a little
All
bit.
right.
We were walking down the road in Highland, Michigan, and this friend of mine was a dirt road kid. You know, he's kind of
He's
a
a dirt
rougher.
road, yeah.
He's a dirty kid, and and to your point, the worst thing you could be was you were a girl, and then just worse than that was you were a fag, which is
Yeah.
horrendous. And this great documentary, The Mass We Live In, everyone should watch it. It really explores that, and I certainly was the product of that. Like that, I lived in fear of being called one of those two things.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're walking down the road, and I don't know why he says this. You know, it's very telling about him when I think about it. He goes, "You notice those like fucking gay underwear models like always have Vaseline on their underwear from jerking off?" And I was like,
What?
there was so much to unpack. It was like, what underwear models?
Yeah.
What underwear models? And why are they hiring gay underwear models? And why are they letting photos get through where there's Vaseline grease on the
Yeah.
photos?
Grease.
This doesn't even matter.
And how
You're
does
not
he
at
know
an
it's
age.
Vaseline?
That's so
Well,
wet.
that's where this story is going.
Oh, boy.
So,
All right.
you know, a smarter kid, more evolved kid would have been called bullshit on the whole story. But
Yeah.
endless.
No, you're too scared at that point. You're just like, haha, yeah, man. That's all you say.
Exactly.
Yeah, that
I'm
is
not-
weird.
I'm not an underwear model. Like, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're just trying to not get ensnared in whatever these other guys are.
Yeah.
I'm at my father's house the following weekend, and I'm rummaging through his dresser for some reason. He's out, and I come across the most attractive jar of Vaseline I've ever seen. It was a half gallon
sweetie.
of Vaseline.
Sweetie jar.
And I like heard if it was a movie, we would have actually flashed back, and I would have seen his face going, "Those gay guys jerking off with Vaseline in their underwear." And up to that point, I didn't even know what jerking off was. I wasn't
yeah.
aware of any of it. And I thought, well, okay. And I put some on, and I'm in my father's bedroom. The door's wide open. You know,
Standing, sitting.
like a standing lean on the bed. I'm not
Whoa.
committed to sitting.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like
Yeah.
taking some weight off, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm going to town at it, and I don't even know enough to be fantasizing about anything. I'm
Sure.
just going through the mechanics of stroking my penis with this Vaseline.
Which is a very gay thing to do.
It's the gayest. And as I'm doing it, and then all of a sudden something very confusing starts happening. I get very scared. I think I'm dying.
Yeah.
Did you?
100% thought. I didn't let it finish.
Me neither. Me neither. I'm like, oh, let's
Yeah.
clean up. You almost died,
Yeah. I thought
which
I
you
broke-
deserve because you're being gay.
Yeah, I thought I broke it.
Yes, I was like just in a shame tornado.
Yeah.
I fucking shoved probably in the wrong drawer. My dad was probably like, "Where's my Vaseline? Who's been using my Vaseline?"
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more live show after this exciting commercial break.
Thinking of your dirt road friend as it was happening, though? Because Vaseline by association, were you just like picturing that time along the dirt road? And
Once
be like,
I
yeah.
got convinced I was dying and that this was punishment for being gay and weird, I did think of him. I thought, oh, this is why he was warning me against this. But then I'll say about a week went by, and I want to know if this was your experience. About a week goes by, and I'm like kind of replaying the whole near-death experience. And I'm like, but it kind of felt good. Like right before I was going to die,
Yeah.
I think that felt good.
Yeah. Just before I broke my dick, I was pretty happy about it.
So the next time I was over at his house a couple weeks later, I had at that thing of Vaseline again, and I went all the fucking way.
Yeah.
And then I went all the way as often as possible.
Yeah.
And felt terrible shame about it for a year. Did you feel bad about it?
No, I just sort of was like, better keep this quiet, dude.
It's between me and you.
Like, just don't tell anybody. Just mum's the word on this one, pal. I will say this. The second time officially that I did it, and it actually happened, it was great. Okay, I was in the shower, and...
A conditioner?
I did shampoo.
Okay. You find out the hard way that can make it burn when you pee later.
Yeah. Well, it was very interesting. So, when a male's penis is done coughing, coughing up phlegm,
clearing its proverbial throat.
It's still kind of like takes a minute to like relax, right?
Especially when you're 11 and 12.
Yeah.
It doesn't know that it's done.
Yeah, so it's sort of hanging out there, and I was like, oh, I have to pee now. Okay. And I don't know why I did this, but I was like, sort of just stood up and looking down at my penis as I peed, and then it's still half boner, and I flexed as I peed, and my dick pointed at my my face, and I just so happened to have my mouth open.
All right!
No!
And I peed
Yeah, you
directly into my mouth.
Yeah, you did.
Wow.
And that was a good follow-up to, oh my God, did I die before? I'm like, well, I've certainly poisoned myself now.
Which,
Sure.
ironically,
Wow.
is straight as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
one of the
fucking whizzing in your mouth is straight as hell.
Hell yeah, dude.
Now, I'm going to go even deeper on this.
Oh. We have about 30 seconds of arable material, I'm just going to say. So.
I think Vital Farms will be all for this. This is, you want to talk
up
about
their
pasture
alley.
raised.
Oh, yeah,
this
yeah.
is fucking free range.
Indeed, yeah.
But again, and this is very revealing, I was doing that for quite a while and nothing was coming out.
What? What do you mean?
I did it before I was producing semen.
Semen.
What age?
Wait. But,
6th grade, 11, 12 years old.
But
I'm having an orgasm. I later find out it's supposed to be accompanied by some fluid.
yeah.
I get very insecure about that. I'm convinced mine's broken, but of course I'm not possibly going to tell my father or my brother, hey, I'm reaching climax, but nothing's coming out. Have you guys been there?
Yeah.
Can you walk me through this?
Yeah.
So I just kind of lived in terror for about 6 months, and I will not forget the first time
You made the milk.
I made a mess. And the relief that followed was like, oh my goodness. And I was just having at it. Monica, we'll be over this really quick. Yeah, we're almost there.
You know our
we're
audience is
there.
98% female, right?
Yeah.
I think it's educational.
It is, actually. I am learning.
Early hand
I
jobs.
love facts.
Early hand jobs. Women would like. This happened multiple times where they'd try and put their thumb or their finger in my urethra, like they'd try and bang me, and I was like, don't do that.
You're violating
And one
me.
claimed to have a previous guy like it, and I was like, oh, fuck, are you lying?
Now,
So, see, there's tips for the ladies in here, too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
you had an older brother as well. Like,
Correct.
we could have been guided through this without all this guesswork.
Not my brother, no.
How much older was your brother?
He was about 6 years older.
Okay, similar, 5.
Yeah.
So he just hated your guts most of the time, right?
We weren't pals. I had the fortune of being a tease and stuff at school, and then I would come home and then get it once more. Yeah.
But was he also protective of you? Because my brother
Yeah.
would spend most of his day kicking my ass, but if he'd catch wind that someone else did, that was his ass.
But I didn't know about that. Only later on in like my 20s did he and I sort of bury the hatchet, and I found out a couple things. One, he referenced a very specific memory where I was getting kind of teased by a boy and his older brother, and they were threatening to beat me up. And then I came home crying one day, and he went and sought out the big boy and told him, if you ever touch him, I'm going to kill you. And I was like, I wish you had told me that.
Yeah.
I would have liked to.
Yeah.
I would have even loved you. And then also I found out that the one time when we all went to Disneyland when I was in, I think, maybe 5th grade or something, and he was, however...
All the way from Canada.
Yeah.
Okay,
Came
that's
down
a
here for the dream, man. We had the Disney Channel. I was like, man, Mickey's my guy right here. But I had just like a fun time, medieval times, all that kind of stuff. I did not know that he and his buddy were on acid pretty much the entire time.
Oh, wow.
Like, full-blown tripping balls. And he has the one story of like, okay, we were in line for the Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And my friend Mike, his friend Mike, I should say, I don't know why I've suddenly taken the first person on my brother. His friend Mike saw this big, juicy jack guy with all the pecs and the biceps and all the muscles.
And the trapezius and
the trapezius.
latissimus.
Mike was convinced that if he poked this man, he would pop.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Reasonable thought.
And he's telling me this, I'm like, what are you... I had no idea. And apparently, just as they're about to get on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, as they are soaring on acid, Mike pops the big muscle guy, who's like, hey, what the fuck? Like, gets so mad.
At Disneyland.
And they jump onto the Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and if you've ever been on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, it is an acid trip. I can only imagine. In hindsight, I'm like, I gotta follow in my brother's footsteps.
Yeah.
This sounds fun.
You know what's so weird is I'm long-term sober,
boring.
14 years, boring, I know, yawn. But I was...
Yeah, don't applaud it. Sounds like a drag.
Quitter. But it's funny because I took my daughter to Disneyland, and we were on Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was on that ride, and I thought to myself, I love being sober. I'm going to be sober my whole life, and yet I will not leave this planet without doing shrooms on this ride.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to make peace with that. I don't know what my sponsor would say, but I'll tell you this, I will not be in a coffin without having had that experience. And I'm going to die sober, so.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. I'm now just in my 30s being like, I should try drugs.
So I was really curious about your, because again, I said this at the top, but I'm very sincere in this. I knew who you were, but I really consumed everything of yours in the last 72 hours. Since the surgery, I watched all of Silicon Valley. I cannot believe how fucking good you are on that show.
Thank you. Sweet,
So
man.
good.
You're
say.
You're so incredible because there's so many opportunities for you to mug and be goofy and be broad and all these, and you fucking stay in your lane the whole time. And also has to be really hard to watch, to be, for lack of a better term, the straight man on that show, right? I mean, you're at an orgy running sound. Everyone else gets to be a buffoon, and you got to just stay the course. And it's really admirable to do it in a way and then still find your moments. I'm a fucking huge fan of your acting. You've been nominated. I'm the first person telling you this, but I hope that, you recognize, and you're fantastic in every way.
Thank you so much.
But as I'm falling in love with you over the last few days, I'm like, I want you to be a drug addict because I like you. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be a pervert, which I've now discovered you are.
I am.
Yeah, check.
Oh, there's a whole secret realm to that, which I don't know we'll be discussing publicly.
I want to have things in common with you. This is my condition in life, which to a fault. I project a lot, and I want to have the same things. But I'm looking at you, and I also learned that you, which this is the most epic thing in the world, you were a comedian on a cruise ship for 4 months.
Yeah.
So my first thought was, you put 24-year-old me on a cruise ship as a comedian, I'm drunk the whole time, and I'm definitely getting caught in people's rooms.
Yeah.
Male and female.
I wish it was that max level, but it was interesting.
Please.
This was okay.
Was it
I hope I
boom?
don't get the various parties in trouble or anything. But I don't know. You're at sea for 4 months. That was our contract, 4 months. Okay. Everybody else had longer. We had the Cush contract where we were...
Because you were with Second City, right? So you kind of started in the elevator.
Norwegian Cruise Lines hired Second City on as entertainers, as one of their many acts that you could see in their crazy big theater on the floating hotel.
Yeah.
And you can't... It's weird. I always described it as a luxury prison in the sense that, it's nice And this is before I'd ever been on set, so I was like, you mean I can go upstairs and get crepes whenever I want? That's like, it's like I judge luxury by how many crepes I can
Absolutely.
get. And that was unlimited.
And did they have the room service at night that you could order sandwiches and shit?
Kind of, not really. We weren't in the passengers' quarters. We were in the officers' quarters, like down below. There's a whole nother world. There were a couple rules, like one, don't have sex with the passengers, and don't do drugs. But it's more should just be say, don't get caught having sex with the passengers, and don't get caught doing drugs.
That's right.
Well, this was like the flagship at the time, so the security was actually pretty tight. So then is this too revealing?
Well, we're gonna find out.
No,
Okay,
I just like,
okay.
is this gross to talk about or like cool?
Is this
Monica
gross
will
to
decide.
talk about? Remember what we just talked about for 10 minutes?
This makes me look a little bit more lecherous. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, all the weird part is like you just don't hook up, I guess, like on the cruise ship. So then what would happen is I'd be, you do these cruise for a week, right? Each thing is a week, and it was interesting. Let me paint the picture in the sense that we're porting out of New York, and for the first half of the cruise, like for the first 2 months, the destination is like Bermuda, Bahamas, stuff like that. Well, what's interesting is you're anonymous before the show. Then you do the show. Everybody knows you. And then at that point, just very random fact, I had done a little internet short about chicken McNuggets that got picked up to be a full-blown McDonald's commercial.
It went viral and they bought it.
Yeah, it's me and a friend going, I'm into nuggets, y'all. I'm into nuggets, y'all. That's what it is. I currently don't endorse McDonald's. I think they're a terrible corporation.
Wow.
But at that point, I was like, I like nuggets. Why not?
Sure.
Ignorance is bliss. And so as that's happening, people are like, holy shit, Second City. Oh my God, the McNuggets guy.
That's a panty dropper.
Yeah. So, and these people are wild. These teens are getting caught fingering each other on the teen disco. It's debaucherous.
Well,
And-
yes, that's also relevant to this story, is that people are behaving their most liberated self, like they were on spring break.
But it's not too crazy. I'm building up to something that's quite underwhelming in the sense that, like,
Well, no, you killed a guy. I think that delivers.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
before I had sex with him. Don't worry, it was before. No, it's just like getting online and I get a MySpace message and someone's like, "Hey, I thought you were really funny. Let me know if you're in New York." And I'm actually, as it just so happens, I'm in New York every single week, and then I'll come meet you. But I remember saying, like, just so you know, I've been at sea for a long time, and I'll be after something in particular, thinking like at this point I wasn't vibing with anyone, so I was like, I gotta get it.
Yes.
And I found that was a discovery where it turns out you can be very forward and people are okay with it sometimes.
Well, people love their sailors. They always. It's a part of like it feels patriotic to service a sailor.
For your country.
Thank you for your
country.
service.
Thank you for your service. Thank you so much for your service. Let's keep this between us.
I think it's interesting. Guys are learning that we get a new lesson every 10 years or something. Like back then, I had to learn to like not be so timid and to like essentially say it to a woman, be like, do you wanna? Uh-huh. And now it's like that is not what you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
And so I'm scared of speaking to women now, but that's okay. I think that's important. That men
It's our
should
turn
be
to
afraid.
shut the fuck up as we talk.
But you are allowed to say, do you wanna?
Huh?
You're allowed to say, do you wanna? I think
Yeah, no, it is, but you have. Yeah, I think you have to. Well,
it's different. It's changing.
you can
You're
say,
right.
"Do you wanna?" I guess it's all about execution. Like you
Yeah.
gotta say, "Do you wanna?" in like a chill ass way. Because
Yeah.
if you say like, "Hey, sweetie," and I also think it matters.
What's your
And this
thing
is
with
gross. I think it matters what you look like. I think if you
Oh,
say, "Do you?"
100%.
If you say, "Do you wanna?" and you're like an older, weirder looking dude, everyone's gonna be like, "Don't ever fucking touch me. I'm gonna blow you up. You're dead. You're gonna die."
Yes.
But if
Yeah.
you're Hottie McToddy,
Well, this is
you
what
can
I
say, "Do you
don't.
wanna?"
No one really wants to talk about it, but there seems to be some correlation. But
There's certain guys
it's
that have a
interesting
gross
that there's no
ownership
Brad
over it.
Pitt stories or Bradley Cooper stories. I don't know. That's something tells me like if you're fucking
Who
a
knows?
solid 10, everyone's happy.
Maybe he's a gentleman. There's a lot of dudes that have a weird sort of "this is owed to me" kind of mentality.
Oh,
you see it in the hyper version with that kind of with that unfortunate man who did unfortunate things, Santa Barbara, like ran this
Oh,
folks
yeah,
over
yeah,
in his like monologues.
Yeah.
His sort of like, I'm a great guy. These women should be falling over to meet with me, and you're like,
Yes.
oh, just by saying that, you've disqualified yourself by
Yeah.
being a good
Yes.
guy. I'm so
there's-
intelligent, and all these women are so stupid. It's like,
there's
no,
a
that's
horrendous-
wrong. You're not doing it right.
Yeah, it's this white male entitlement. That's why those shooters are all white. They're like, I'm supposed to be the president of the United States. My
Yeah.
mom said I could be.
Now I
I didn't go to college, but fuck that. You know, like there's,
Yeah,
I deserve women.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Women
think,
and a limo.
yeah, in a helicopter.
And as much macaroni and cheese as I can eat.
And milkshakes without eggs in them, Dad.
Milkshakes, hold the egg, Dad.
Anywho, you're back on that cruise ship, and you would say to people, look, I've really been out at sea for some time now.
Yeah.
And I'm lonely.
I'm a
And the
lonely
sea's
guy.
a lonely place.
It can be. I was barking up a couple trees and I still hadn't mastered it yet, so I was getting a couple no's. And then Miss Available came along. I said, yes, please, let's.
Okay, but this is now where I'm going to get serious, and then we'll hopefully we'll put a real spin on this, and then it'll
Okay.
excuse all
'Cause
the
I
terrible
feel-
misogyny we just walked through to
Well,
get
I just
here.
feel like I've scummed it up a little bit. I'm sorry if I did. I apologize.
So, you got picked on a lot as a kid up in Nelson.
Sure.
Yeah, you had kind of a rough go of it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched you on Sam Jones, and I found myself getting very emotional. Like,
Aw.
you had a rough go of it, right?
Yeah, it was a tough one.
And you were a loner.
Yeah.
And then you had this weird thing too in high school where like you wanted to be friends with all the groups, which kind of meant you weren't truly friends with any specific group.
Yes.
And then you had this weird thing that if you introduced girls to this mix, it was going to alienate you somehow from any one of these groups. Am I right?
Yes.
So you were girl crazy, and yet you didn't allow yourself to be with girls because of your fear of social ostracization.
Ostracization?
Yeah,
Ostracization.
ostracization.
Oshkosh. Oshkosh bagosh.
Okay. So when I heard your story, and I heard that that was your experience in grade school, and one story in particular is pretty heartbreaking about two dudes you were friends with who basically just out of boredom decided, let's turn on Tom.
Yeah.
And that was a very scarring bummer of a situation. And I think a lot of us can relate to that. Did you, like myself, think if I can get one of these girls that I've assessed as being much higher status than me and much prettier than me, that if that person likes me, maybe I'll like me. Maybe I'll think I'm worthy.
You mean like in 20s Tom, or back in school Tom?
20s, Tom. Like when you
20
actually were able to like talk to girls and be kind of confident, and you had the skill set of being funny.
I don't think it was. No, it wasn't like, oh, this is going to make me whole or anything. Well, it honestly felt like scrambling for lost time. To me, I was like, oh man, you mean I had this like secret power of being funny, and it could have been used to kiss? What the fuck was I doing? And then I can go on stage, and I don't even have to do anything. I can get off stage, and a girl will talk to me.
Yeah.
That's craziness. And
Yeah.
so for me, it was just like. The part of that was like I'm just having a good time. Admittedly being a little bit reckless of it, and I suppose the darker elements of it were just because I'm prone to less nowadays, but I was prone to a fair bit of self-destructive, fair bit of sadness and stuff, and just sort of being like, well, this is going to be a weird situation. I could say no and then feel good about it the next day, but I'm going to say yes and dive in there head first. And have like just a strange encounter, and if it gets weird and sad, like that's part of it. And I'll listen to Elliott Smith on the way home, like that kind of thing.
I was a little troubled that you'll listen to Elliott Smith like daily for you.
I still do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love. I can't
I can't imagine there's a therapist in America that would have that as part of
Would
the
recommend
a wellness program.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Oh, he's
so
a
sensitive.
very beautiful, very, very beautiful. But let's just maybe once a week that.
Maybe. Maybe.
But do you think that you had what would be clinical depression?
Perhaps. I don't know. It's certainly never diagnosed.
Let me ask a more specific question.
Yeah.
Is it weird to have an identity and a self-image, who you think you are in high school and middle school and all that, and then enter the world, and then all of a sudden start being kind of attractive to people? Does it make you feel either A, fraudulent, or B, distrustful of the people?
No, that was not my reaction. My reaction was like, thank fucking God.
Bring it.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
But I guess I was just always a very brooding person. I was like, as soon as teendom hit and all the hormones thing and puberty and everything, there was just these days where nothing else mattered. You know, it was just like, I fucking hate this. I'm so sad. I can't tell you why I am. I'm just bummed. But then always the trick of it was where you're not allowed to be. If you're the funny boy, you're not allowed to be sad. That's not fun.
Well, especially if you've assessed that your value proposition to people is that you make them happy and they smile around you.
That's the value. The value in society is like, I have to make people laugh, otherwise like I got nothing. I'm back to being alone in the cafeteria.
Yeah.
And
just Tom being Tom is not enough.
Those fears, I think, lessen as time goes on, and I think one of the benefits about being in your 30s is like you just chill out about a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I like myself pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I still hate myself pretty often, but
okay.
The percentage is way down.
Oh yeah. It goes down, and you also get different worries. You have different fears and worries to think about. Hollywood is a strange business that is never a secure thing. It's so hard to run your own race. It's so hard to be like, oh, hey, best friend. Oh, you got that thing that I really wanted? Cool, I'm so happy for you. Like, that's so cool. I'm so happy for you. And you are, but you also want them to melt so you can have it.
Yes.
It's so weird. And I don't like that. I don't like those feelings. Those aren't nice ones.
And before you were, because you had, not a crazy long journey to gaining full employment, but you certainly, you left Canada, you found yourself in Chicago, and you did Second City and I.O.
Yeah.
And then you went on this cruise ship, and then you got to audition for SNL. Your first week onto the cruise ship, he had to beg to get himself off the cruise ship. They must have thought you were the most obnoxious shit, right? Like, you need to get off.
That is a very arrogant thing to do. Yeah, so as I say, 4 months on the cruise ship, and the first week we're even just having the orientation, I find out that like Lorne Michaels and crew are coming to Chicago to like check people out to see if they maybe want to test them for SNL. And that is like comedy gold medal. Like,
yeah.
Even regardless of what you think about the show, is it funny or not or whatever, it's just like such a cultural thing. And if you get on, you're like, I won. Like, I beat everybody somehow.
Yeah. Were you singularly aimed at SNL?
Yes, at one point. Initially, I wanted to, being from Canada, I saw Kids in the Hall. They were the holy grail. So initially, I wanted to try and meet people to just form a sketch comedy group.
Okay.
But then, when I moved from Toronto to Chicago, I was like, this is obviously like 22, 23-year-old confidence being like, all right, so in about 6 months, I'll be on main stage, and then like a year SNL. I'll probably be the youngest cast member. And then when that wasn't happening, I was like, okay, maybe I'll take this cruise ship gig. And actually I was maybe going to go back to Canada after the cruise ship and kind of do something else.
Right, you wanted to be a chef or something bizarre? What were you going to do?
I wanted to cook human meat. I just wanted to cook human meat and start a human meat restaurant.
Sure.
It was always a dream of mine.
It's the only ethically raised meat.
Yeah,
I mean, if you think
yeah. The world's most dangerous prey. And then so caught wind that was going to happen, and I had a good feeling that I would at least be in one of the shows that they would have seen or something. So I was like, oh man, I should be there, causing a big stink. And it's like, that's the most attractive thing to have in front of you, is like a 20-something being like, I should be on SNL, and like, you should fly me from this cruise ship right now. That's like, cool, man, can't wait to be your castmate for 4 fucking months.
Yeah.
You arrogant
I would have
dickhead.
hated you.
Yeah.
I would have hated your guts.
Yeah. But I flew out from Bermuda, went up there, did the shows, and then went back on the cruise ship, and then met like Seth Meyers and a couple other producers, and on New York.
You weirdly look like a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We agree? We all agree?
I don't, what a long white face.
Long, milky, beautiful.
Very,
white face.
extremely handsome.
Eyes you find yourself falling backwards into.
When will these eyes stop?
They just won't stop. I can't wait to see your trapezius. So you did audition.
I ended up auditioning.
And you had a good audition.
Yeah.
But spoiler alert, you did not get Saturday Night Live.
Didn't get it. Yeah.
Now, after you found out that you didn't get it, when you were regrouping, did you think, okay, well, I'll just go act in LA. I'll start auditioning. What did you?
This is actually, I think, a really good example of the serendipity of Hollywood, potentially, or maybe like art forms, I suppose, so I had an extra day. So because I got an SNL audition, suddenly a new fancy agent was interested in me. So now I got a new agent. And in order to prove that he's a great agent and he can do things for me, he sets up what are known as generals. So general meetings where you go meet maybe some casting directors, whatever. I just met casting directors of ABC, Fox, and CBS on my day off waiting for the cruise ship after I had just auditioned for SNL. And in my little kit of character costumes, I have a little skateboard helmet. And so, like, it's just me, and I'm walking around to all these different places. I got my little bag, I got my skateboard helmet, ready for when the ship comes in to go back and do cruise ship comedy for the, oh my God, fucking Second City. And for some reason, I don't know why I had this amount of confidence. This is very unlike me. They were, on these meetings, they were like, why do you have this skateboard helmet? Are you skateboarding around? I'm like, oh no, I did this, I just tested for SNL. Do you want me to do my characters and impressions for you? Like, what am I doing? I offered to do my SNL audition for these casting directors, which in hindsight could have been so awkward.
Oh, yeah.
That is like, I would not recommend doing that. If there was a younger actor being like, should I do my characters and impressions for casting directors? I'd be like, no, don't. That is a terrible idea.
Because when it goes south, it's going to be about 5 long minutes of it going south.
It's just me and someone else, and
you're
they're
wearing
recording
a skateboard helmet.
Yeah.
You brought props and stuff.
Yeah, I brought props.
Yeah. Like, we all know and love Will Ferrell now, but you imagine him being in your office doing that cat thing, just licking him until you break.
Yeah.
And that could be your last meeting with that person.
Yeah, and it could have just been like, all right, man.
I don't have to see you again.
Yeah.
But it worked.
But it just so happened I got this, in the biz, you can get these things called holding deals, which was when pilot season rolls around, a network will kind of call dibs on you. And
they'll
that
give
just
you a
happened.
little bit of cheddar.
Yeah, they give you some cheddar.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing that now. And then I went from the cruise ship to New York and did that, and then commercials, and then finally out here.
Yeah, so the period...
Boring.
The period... No. It was interesting. God damn you. In the period between that holding deal and Silicon Valley, how many years is that? 4?
Something like that.
4 years. And you did a pilot or 2, yeah?
No. Oh, this is another great. So it's like, how can you plan that, right? Like, that's just like, oh, this, and then that happens. And then I moved to New York being like, here we go. Holding deal, writer's strike. That was the 2000 whatever writer's strike. So I just I got paid, but I just sat around.
Yeah.
And did nothing.
Uh-huh.
I babysat.
Were you still using the line like, just back from sea? Lonely as hell.
Yeah. No, actually, that first year in New York was terribly lonesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know anyone, and I couldn't get up anywhere, and I just was extremely lonely. That was a very tough time. I had started having anxiety attacks. I was calling my mom, and it's not like I'd never call my mom, but I don't call my mom and like bleed my heart out. And
she's also British, right? That's rough for a British person.
Yeah, she's like,
emotions?
what are these? Do you call them emotions? Feelings? I'm 2 bottles of wine in. I think I can do this.
Now, really quick about that, just before we move on. So your parents were British, which is so unique to me.
No one's British.
It's so
Not
rare.
anymore.
But you weren't ever, you weren't embarrassed, right, that they were British?
No. I thought that was cool.
It was cool, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like Mighty Python.
Yeah. Well, my mom's quite silly. Both my parents are. They're very silly. My mom loves doing accents, so that like kind of rubbed off on me. And
your dad was crazy supportive of you pursuing this, right?
I was very fortunate. They were like, I think that especially in Toronto, when I was like, okay, they'd saved up for me to go to college. And I said, you know what, I'd like to use my college fund to just like live in Toronto and do comedy. And they were like, Tom, do you really want to do this? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, okay. And like, that's pretty cool.
That's some tough love there.
Well, that's like... They kind of, I don't know, they backed me, and I will say hats off to them, because that's probably got to be really scary. They were teachers, they didn't have a ton of money, they scraped and saved for that stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to blow it on goofs.
Right. Gags.
And hope that I get famous and so rich.
So in the 4 years, though, between the holding deal and Silicon Valley, how are you dealing with the frustration of that? Are you doing what I did at that time, which was like, I was super critical of everyone I wanted to be. Like, did you get into that trap at all? I feel like a lot of us comedians are that way. It's like
We're a spiteful bunch.
we're very spiteful.
No, I didn't hate anybody. I will say it's kind of a little bit different in like the improv world. Not to say that there's no one cutthroat in there, but like because improv is so artsy fartsy, like
quote collaborative,
yes, and like trust falls and whoosh whoosh whoosh, like organic opening, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That everyone's it's a little bit more kumbaya, which was nice.
Yeah.
Our first walkout.
Now you.
Oh, no.
It's okay. No, it was a boring. No one. That was a good yes and actually.
Should we ask Thomas about the great British debate between sexual men and women?
Sure.
What?
I have very low expectations for him having an opinion on
He
it, but let's
might
run it by
know.
him.
What's the great sexual debate between sexual men and women?
Okay, so I met a girl when I was 15. I was on a snowboard trip to Vermont.
Yes.
She was English, Jenny.
Okay.
We're hanging out on the slopes. Things are going well. Go back to a hotel room. We're in a closet while my buddy's dad sleeps.
Cool.
We're tipsy.
I get very turned on when I'm trying to have sex next to my buddy's dad.
Always. Few things are hotter.
Quick, can you get your dad over here?
Yeah. Hey, Ken, is your dad asleep? Wake him up. Keep him sleepy.
Keep him in the next room, but I want him sleepy but awake.
So Jenny and I are in a walk-in closet at a ski-up resort, and we're kissing, then there's heavy petting, then there's all kinds of things. Next thing you know, we are mid-coitus, and I'm thinking, this happened way too easy. I don't know why this happened so easy.
Okay.
Cut to years later, I'm in an anthropology class up the road at UCLA, and I learn that an inordinate amount of American GIs impregnated British females during World War II.
Okay.
To the degree at which they wanted to study it. And what they found out through studying it was, in our culture, women have the brake pedal. They go, no, we should wait. But in England, men have the brake pedal. They're supposed to say, no, we should wait. So when you get Jenny and Dax on a ski trip together, no one's got a fucking brake pedal. It's just full throttle. And then you're humping in a closet next to Joe Kennedy. And I went, oh my God, that makes so much sense, because there's no way she liked me that much. Like, it just didn't add up, and then it added up. So we then said that on here, and some people said that doesn't sound very scientific. We've been trying to find this paper I read to substantiate the claim with no success.
Can't find it.
Yeah.
We found another
I don't know
interesting
where it is.
paper.
Not sure it exists.
Another interesting paper, though, that kind of leaned towards this, which was, if you were to break down, like, they gave it 23 steps between meeting and coitus. And for Americans, kissing's only like number 4. Like, people kiss right out the gates. You can meet someone at Burger King, kiss them in the parking lot. No what? In England, there's like 18 steps before you kiss. So the females in England, these American GIs were hot on the lips right out of the gates, and they were getting a single like, oh, we're really far down the path.
Right.
Fucking's next. I better get prepared. That was the explanation of the paper we saw, but now we're wondering if you have any insight.
Yeah,
When you would watch your mom and dad make love, would your dad say,
That's what we're asking.
we should wait, hun? And your mom would say, fuck no, I'm full throttle? What would happen?
Yeah, tell us the details.
Both of them were pretty into it. I do remember that.
Okay.
I would like to point out in this study, in this debate, that we're talking about 1940s culture as opposed to nowadays.
That's
Correct.
very true.
So
Very
just
relevant.
Let's keep that in mind.
Thank you for pointing that out.
You know,
Any other obvious facts you want to add to that?
You don't know.
I've never been with an English lady.
Really?
I've never been with an English.
So you don't have Oedipal too
I've
bad.
kissed in English, but that's about it.
In English?
Yeah.
Okay. There's such an obvious question to be asked about
ask
her
it.
teeth.
Oh, no. That's not.
I value our English listeners.
That's not at all
but-
it.
Well, you know, there's a stereotype that
Yeah,
they don't value orthodontia like
Well,
we
they do. It's just, I mean, if I hadn't had the amount of work I've had,
Okay.
I would be like Jaws, like teeth in front of teeth. There would be rows. It would not be okay.
We are so similar, because I had a fucking overbite that you could put a science book in. I
Yeah.
used to, for the amusement of my classmates. Well, it says, And it looked like God just grabbed my fucking teeth in his hand and chucked them at my face and said, smile! And he just went,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
disastrous. I would not be sitting on this stage without braces.
My work has even continued into my adult life.
Congratulations. Are you using like an Invisalign?
No. I don't know if this is taboo or not to admit, but I think it's fine. I don't care. I have a few veneers in my mouth.
Good for you.
I want some.
Can I tell you this?
I do. Yeah, tell me.
Can I tell you what the veneers was? So this is my dentist that I kind of was just like, when you move to LA. Well, when I moved to LA, at one point I was like, I should probably go see a dentist because it's been a long time.
Sure.
So I found a dentist, and we get along. What do I want to say there? Yeah, we get along.
Yeah.
Was she the English that you kissed?
Yeah, we haven't kissed, but she's cute.
Okay.
She's a Russian woman.
Okay.
And at one point, she's talking about my two sort of front teeth, the two big ones.
Okay.
They were kind of like, she goes, your teeth, they are narrow at the top and wide at the bottom. It looks like you have a condition. And I was like, what? And I was like, I know they're kind of weird looking, but what?
Wait.
She was trying to convince me it kind of looks so, it looks so weird. It looks like it might have like a gum disease or something weird.
Oh, wow.
When she said condition, I was thinking like a mental health thing or
She's saying I look
trisomy
fucking
21?
dumb with my stupid dumb teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So she convinced me to have these veneers on my two front teeth. She doesn't tell me
doesn't get
really
her
what the
hands.
procedure is, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, cool. And she's like really intense about getting that insurance money. So I think I got it mostly paid for, which is I don't think allowed.
Okay.
Sorry, SAG-AFTRA. Anyway, she starts filing it down. She numbs me up. I'm down there filing down. In my mind, I think what's going to happen is like maybe they're caps. Like I kind of get my teeth squared out or something like that.
Sure.
And I plonk plonk. But she files for a long time.
Oh, boy.
Long time.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not
then
really in a state to question
I'm just
her.
kind of like, good, she's taking her time.
Oh.
She's
It's a weird conclusion, but
Shows
okay.
how dumb I am. I'm like, good, she's paying attention to
She's
detail.
thorough.
Yeah, these are my teeth, so.
Yeah.
And I've had years of orthodontic stuff. Like, teeth have always been a thing with me. I'm so obsessed about them. And she leaves, and then the guy, the assistant, who always told me about his fucking web series, he needs to go, and he goes, hey, man, don't look in the mirror. And he bolts.
Oh, what?
And then I was like, excuse me? And I didn't. I was like, oh, I'm definitely not going to, because now I'm so scared.
Yeah.
What did they do?
But also, why is he bouncing mid-procedure?
Because he's got to do stuff. Because she
So
was always
webs-
mean to him. It was a weird dynamic.
Okay.
She'd always like grab his hand and like there, and he'd be like,
Oh, fuck.
and
Yeah, I love when two people are in a power struggle in
with
my
fuck-
mouth.
up in my mouth.
Nothing better than temperatures flaring while they're
Exactly.
filing my fucking teeth.
Exactly. So I didn't look in the mirror, but I did hesitantly, ever so hesitantly, start to touch my two front teeth with my tongue.
Oh, boy.
And I can clearly tell that my two front teeth have been filed down into snake fangs. Tiny little triangles.
Oh,
my God.
Tiny little motherfucking triangle. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh, my
and
God.
Everything floods back, like braces, the bionator, my parents, like going to the orthodontist, like saving so much money out of pocket, their teachers. And I start to cry.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And now I'm a grown man in the dentist chair having a cry.
Having a nice cry in front of a Russian gal.
And the Russian lady comes back, and I'm wiping him off. I'm trying to be brave for her. Why? Why do I want to be a brave boy in the dentist chair? I don't know. I just want to be a brave. And
Did you quickly think, oh, I'll tell her I'm crying about a pet I put
No.
down last week?
no, you know what's so dumb? I don't know why. I still had like the ego of being like, I knew what was going to happen. Like, I wouldn't ever admit that I didn't know.
Like, I made my bed. I'm going to lie in it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you deserve this now,
Yeah.
Tommy.
Yeah.
And also, don't
Two
say
big
anything to
fucking
upset her
sharp
because
teeth.
I want to do her a good job. And you know what really made me, honest, this is so dumb. When I'm sitting there crying, what's making me so sad is I have this stupid fantasy. The fantasy is now, like 40 years later, it's Mad Max times.
Oh yeah.
And I'm running away from bandits, and I fall, and my veneers come off.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And now there's not a dentist anymore because we live in Mad Max times.
Yeah.
And now I'm only the fangs.
Oh God.
And then this is legitimately thought. I was thinking like, well, how am I gonna meet a girl then?
It went all roads lead back.
Chicks. In my Mad Max fantasy.
You have Mako shark smile.
Yeah.
Your first thought is like intimacy.
People call
with a
me the
woman.
Fang. You come, me, hump.
You could go another way with it, though, which is if you find yourself in that post-apocalyptic setting and marauders are coming at you and you fucking pop out your nice smile, and you're like, ah!
Crazy! He's gone savage!
Yeah!
He's one of the mutants!
Yes, I'm terrified of a guy who pops his teeth out before a fight and shows me daggers.
Yeah.
I'm like, I might have underestimated this guy.
He's definitely Australian.
There must be
a guy like that is
easier to
Australian.
tackle.
You don't
Yeah.
want to mess with me, bro.
Yeah.
I'm fucking crazy, mate.
Thank you for calling Lucifer's Pizza.
Yeah.
Back to your fucking teeth. So,
Well,
no.
they put temporary. First, they do a mold. They do like a little mold of your fangs.
Yeah.
And then, they go and make the really nice porcelain like real things.
You have temp teeth.
They have temp teeth.
Oh, jeez.
And
wow.
like for a while, because it's like there's some blood, and so when you have your temp teeth, there's like crusted blood along your gum line.
Nothing's
So it
more
was-
inviting than when someone smiles.
Yeah. And you're
Like
like,
they just ate raw carrion on the side of the road.
yeah. Why are all your other teeth normal except for your blood-soaked two front teeth?
Absurdly white two front teeth.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, what ended up making its way into your mouth
Yeah.
is so beautiful and
Nice.
seamless and
Yeah.
organic.
I know.
I would never have known. Although this does explain a tiny little thing. I noticed a couple times on Sam Jones when you laughed really hard, you covered your mouth. And I was like, it's not like you're like, hee. It wasn't one of those like naughty laughs, like, hee. It was like you had a genuine laugh and then you went like this, and I thought, I wonder what's his history with his teeth are.
Now you know.
And now I fucking know.
Years of monster mouth.
This,
You're afraid they're gonna fall out when you laugh.
what's the
That is a fear.
Yeah. Sounds like it.
The
Do you think you'll
fear
ever-
is like doing something very public and then the veneer will pop out.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever do like Brad Pitt did in Fight Club and have them removed for a role?
Oh, sure. Or Jim Carrey for Dumb and Dumber. He got his thing. He embraced his
and
chipped
removed-
tooth.
Yeah. I don't care what the premise of the movie is. I promise you I'll be the first one there on Friday to buy a ticket if you ever do a movie with your fucking
Full
sharp
fangs?
triangle teeth.
Well, here's the
Yeah.
thing. I had kind of because I was so pleased with how this went. I went veneer crazy and I got more.
Oh, God. So what are we talking here?
I have now my bottom teeth because they were all fucked up too. Because the
Sure.
thing is like when you're predestined to have fucked up teeth, you can do all the braces and all that kind of stuff, and that's gonna feel great.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on in life, those fucked up teeth, they're gonna come right on back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
gonna be like,
resilient. They're resilient.
will ruin you.
Yeah. Have you noticed mine? So mine used to be beautiful, and then this one just said,
Now
fuck
starts
this.
slipping.
I'm going back to the way I was when I was born.
Yeah.
And now that's going to cause a collapse of all the other teeth.
Yeah.
It's a house of cards in there.
Yeah.
Dominoes.
So if I took them all out, I'm the Fang Man.
You're set.
Oh wow.
What would you say you've got, 30, 40 grand tied up in this smile?
A cool 2.8 mil.
Okay, right. Okay, you guys, we for real now. Monica and I love you so much. This is by far the zenith for me of any experience I've had. It's so fulfilling and heartwarming, and I hope as long as you guys keep coming, we will keep doing this. So we love you from the bottom of the heart. Everybody, please, Thomas Middleditch.
Maybe it hurts too much. Maybe I can't hold it in. But don't tell me you don't know how it feels. You know how it feels. We all do.
Maybe it's just as well we let this thing slip out. But baby, when I do this to you, don't act like you don't do it too, 'cause you do it too. Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies. Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies. Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies. I farted. I farted.
Look at you standing there, breathing this filthy air.
But baby, when you give me your hand, you'll understand it was an accident. Just let me explain. Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies. Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies. Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies.
I farted, I
Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies. Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies. Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies. Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies. Oopsies, oopsies, oopsies.
And now my favorite part of the show, the fact check with my soulmate, Monica Padman. All the chicken ladies, all the chicken ladies, all the chicken ladies, all the chicken ladies. Bark, 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 bark.
It's your new favorite song.
It really is. It's just going through my mind all the time now. And then you can say, if you like it, then you should have laid an egg on it. Did you hear that verse?
I did not. It's very cute.
Oh, I'm building it out slowly.
I like
By
it.
2020, I hope to have a full version of the Chicken Ladies.
So this
then-
episode has 3 songs you're promoting.
3 songs.
One's
yes.
yours.
These will all be available on all the many platforms in 2020. I hope to film a video.
Wow.
In like a chicken outfit, but I can do that move with my hands where I punch down and move my
It's a good
knees.
idea. Yeah.
Don't you like it?
Sure.
Maybe I could sell the whole thing to like a KFC or some kind of, chicken sales place, some purveyor of chickens.
Or you could just enjoy it for yourself.
Yeah, let's do that. You don't have to monetize everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a good time in Los Angeles?
Oh, man. Los Angeles is nice.
Yeah, we like it here.
Yeah, I love it here. And it was a very fun
Raucous show.
Sure, raucous. Yeah, it
Right.
was very fun.
I was on crutches. I
Uh-huh.
was 36 hours out of surgery.
That's right.
You and I were we were both dipping. Not
I was
chewing
not
tobacco.
dipping.
No, not chewing tobacco. But we were both dipping prior to the show.
Oh, I got very sick the next day. So it was,
You were ailing, and I had a rod in my toe. But we sat in the wings while all the amazing music happened. And then we looked at each other, and we felt we were at 100%. From the music got us there, didn't it? That night?
yeah, it was really, really fun.
Yeah.
Thomas was a delight.
Ugh.
You know what I really liked about him? Everything, but at the show,
Uh-huh.
I walked up, Wobby Wob was talking to him, but I
Sure.
didn't realize that Wobby Wob was talking to him. I thought he was talking to some stranger. I didn't
Like a janitor
I
or
didn't
something?
notice who he was talking to. I just saw that he was talking to someone, but I had like something emergent that needed taking care of.
Uh-huh.
So I interrupted and I was like, hey, Rob, blah, 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 blah. And then I looked over and I was like, oh no, that is so disrespectful. Although it's always disrespectful, no matter who it had been, but it was important.
Right.
Anyway, and then so I looked at him, I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's so rude. I'm Monica, and I put my hand out to shake his hand, and then he used 2 hands to shake it.
Oh.
And I really liked that.
That's a great move.
It was a hot move.
Oh, that's great. And you and I had just binged Silicon Valley.
In prep, yeah.
Yeah. So it was probably extra exciting.
It was nice. It was a good move. I would
Advise
advise
gentlemen.
and women maybe. I don't know. I'd have to see what it would feel like if a woman did it.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine
I'm
a
gonna
woman
try it.
when shake someone's hand like that. Boy.
Would
yeah,
you like
I'm
it?
not sure if I would like it or not.
I think
would
you
like
would
it if-
like it, yeah, because it's like extra. It feels like extra
extra.
affectionate or something.
Yeah, you know what I'd really love is when I shook a woman's hand, she took her other hand and just gently ran her thumb down my cheek like I was a little baby.
I thought you were gonna say something really gross.
No,
I'm glad you
just
didn't.
like put her thumb on my cheek like a little baby.
Ew.
That wouldn't be good for you.
No.
I guess that goes to your history too. Like a lot of people hate having their faces touched.
Yeah. Are you
Right?
being serious or are you not being serious? I almost can't tell. Like, would you really like it
I
if
think I
someone
would,
did that
absolutely.
with their small thumb? I don't understand this.
Yeah, you know
What's-
how like sometimes you meet a little child and you'll just touch their cheek.
Oh, that's true.
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It's very nurturing. Like if it was done in a very nurturing way.
Okay. Ugh.
You're not so sure about it.
No.
Yeah,
no.
we'd probably have to workshop it to see if it really worked.
Well, it also maybe would feel like lines could get crossed quickly
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes people put their hand on people's face when they kiss them. So the person may
Oh,
take it in
like
as
muscle
this
memory.
person is gonna kiss me, and then
Oh.
they'll kiss back, and then that person wasn't trying to kiss them, and then harassment.
Right. I think mostly though, if anyone's going to try this, it should be female to male.
Exactly what I'm saying. If a female
Yeah.
goes to touch a guy's face, and the guy thinks, "Oh, this girl wants to kiss me," the guy's probably gonna kiss her.
Oh, Right.
And she probably didn't want to be kissed. She was just trying to do that baby
Okay,
thing.
then let's just amend this a little bit and say only do it if you want that person to then kiss you.
Oh, sure. Okay.
All right.
Now we figured it out.
Well, how would you have felt about kissing Thomas right at that moment when you guys shook hands?
Oh,
the
I would
first
have
time?
wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting at.
This has gone really awry.
You also have a big hands thing, so
Oh, I do like hands. Yeah.
it's one of your erogenous.
But this wasn't about that. It was like, it felt really loving. But we just met.
An extra.
An extra, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so
good
I guess
job,
Thomas
Tommy.
and I are going to kiss.
Well, I do think he's married, but
He is.
But who knows
He's
what their
married.
arrangement is? It's you just can't assume these days.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they are in a monogamous relationship.
Yeah, I mean, it's likely. You're just playing the odds.
Yeah. Anyway, he was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Sure was.
Okay. Oh, well, this is, speaking of this, we get into some dirty talk.
Uh-huh.
Sort of a dirty, 3 R's in dirty conversation.
Well, in general, I'll just say the live shows have a tendency to get more dirty because the live shows are more funny a lot of times.
They can be, yeah.
They can be because I'm a ham and there's people there that paid money and I want them to laugh. So I tend to probably push a little bit in the live shows.
Right.
But presumably some people don't like that about the live shows. And then presumably some people like that about the live shows.
Yeah.
The listeners at home.
Right.
But that's kind of a pattern that I would predict is going to
Continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. I think that's probably fair. But we talk about boobs. And my boobs. We're talking about fat natchies.
Oh, fat cheese.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
we were discussing my...
Fat cheese.
No.
Oh, okay.
We were discussing my distaste for that
The
phrase.
term.
Yes, and then he said, "No, but you want these boobs to be fat, basically." is what he
Right.
said.
Oh, right. And you're nervous that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone that.
They're all nice.
They're all great. Yeah.
right.
Absolutely. I've liked a lot of small boobs. And I've liked some big boobs. Doesn't really. That's not the determining factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean,
What?
we just reference the mask you live in so much.
I know.
I
Should we
mean-
stop? We got to stop.
I mean, it's getting comical. Because but the thing is, I can never cut
can't-
it because it always leads to a good conversation, which is good.
Also, it's one of these things that once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you just become abundantly aware of how much,
Totally.
how frequently we're kind of reinforcing these identities, right?
Stereotypes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we should still be talking about it, but maybe we don't have to reference the movie anymore.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just go straight. It just feels unethical to claim that we have this
know.
perspective unaided.
I know. How do we get around this?
Yeah. Ooh, the
TMYLI.
TMYLI. TMYLI. Anyways, we were watching TMLY. It
Oh,
sounds like
boy.
TRL Live.
Oh, yeah. well, maybe we just call it that. We
Okay,
were watching
that'll be
TRL Live.
Yes.
Wait, it's not TRL Live. It's Total
just
Request Live.
Yeah, it's just TRL or TR Live, I guess.
TR Live. Anyway, I just want the listeners to know that we know we're saying that a lot.
Yeah. I don't know if that bothers anyone.
Maybe not. But sometimes when I
Let
hear it,
us
I'm like,
know.
oh
I guess that's
boy,
a-
we have really talked about this.
That's a bit of criticism I'm open to. Some criticism I don't take well, most of it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we don't need to tell people. See, no, actually,
Oh,
I don't.
okay,
I don't
all right.
want people to tell us, and then people get in arguments.
Oh,
and
okay,
stuff.
you're right. I don't want any arguments. I don't want anyone arguing on our behalf. That always makes me sad if I see in our comments that an argument has started between armchairies.
Yeah, I don't like
I
that.
never
either.
like that.
Yeah.
And often I'll just erase that because I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
What's one of them?
Well, so the one I was just going to say that, and you busted me yesterday when I was responding, which is this woman was really critical of me using the term junkie, that I was perpetuating somehow this shame for addicts. And what I explained to her was that's our term. Like people in AA call themselves alkies and junkies. And we've reclaimed it. I compared it to the N-word. Like they took that back. Yeah, like this is something you used to say to us to shame us. You're an alkie or a junkie, but then we owned it. So I was like, no, I get to say whatever I want about the group I'm in. You can't tell me I can't use the word junkie to describe myself.
Right. Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
or alkie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boozy. I don't know. We don't use that much, but I can imagine.
It's not a very clever
No,
one.
it sounds more like a clown that's going to show up to your party. Boozy. Oh, hon, you didn't hire Boozy, did you? The last birthday party, he caught the garage on fire,
Boozy.
smoking rock.
Yeah, I think you can call yourself whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same as the N-word.
Well, it is in that they took a word that was used to diminish their status and shame them and said, no, we're going to own this word now, and it's for us, and we're going to take that meaning and change it for us.
Yeah.
It's similar in that. I don't
In
think
that way,
I don't think the addict's experience in life is the same as a black person's. I'm just saying. I think those are analogous.
Yeah. I just think like the reason they had to reclaim it is because they had no choice. Like they're not choosing whether they're black or not. Here we go back into that same argument we had the other day. But it's not, to me, it's.
And I don't think someone's choosing to be an addict either. That'd be a weird choice to make.
But so you're saying junkies are addicts or junkies are people who are doing drugs? There is a difference.
Traditionally, a junkie is someone who uses heroin.
Right.
Right. And so it was a term created by non-addicts to shame addicts and refer to them as pieces of shit.
Yeah, I don't like
mangy
that.
dogs, junkies.
Right.
Couldn't be a word. They're saying those humans are junk.
Right.
And so people who suffer from
Or
that.
they're interested in junk. I don't know if it's that they are junk, but maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, at any rate, addicts who are sober will call themselves ex-junkie or I was a junkie. Or I'm a junkie, so I got to go to meetings.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is the exact same. Now, you could drill down into whatever aspect of it you want to.
Sure.
But the simple fact that it was something invented to be derogatory towards us that we then took on in our own little community and call each other junkies and alkies.
Right.
That part's, I think, similar.
Yeah, that is similar. Oh, well, you said that the first time you jacked off, you used your dad's big jar of Vaseline. But then you've also referenced using some lotion.
I then evolved,
yellow bottle.
Yes, into Vaseline intensive care.
Oh, it's still Vaseline, right?
Yeah, but that was a
Okay.
lotion and not the petroleum jelly.
Right.
Yeah.
So you prefer the lotion.
Well, a couple things. The lotion was more available in my house when I didn't live with my father.
Got it.
Also, cleanup's a lot easier. Petroleum jelly doesn't.
It's very
wash.
sticky.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard to clean up.
Yeah. I guess for the lotion, are you just rubbing it in?
No. Post, masturbation, you then clean up. You'd wash off your penis.
But I guess if it was a lotion, you could just rub it in and make your penis soft.
Yeah, but you're using more than can be absorbed by the dermis. And
Okay.
so you're going to then probably soil your underdungaries, your unmentionables.
Oh, sure. Your
Masturbation's very
meandies.
healthy.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, so you're coming out on the side of the yellow lotion.
Yeah. And then, no one needs to know this, but then I just stopped using lotion altogether.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't use any lubricant.
No. On rare occasion at a hotel, they're offering that lotion there at the sink. There's generally a shampoo, a conditioner, and a lotion.
Yeah.
And there's also a big stack of fresh
Corn?
No. Washcloths.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So everything's right there to go full service. So if those times are more like a pampering. like a spa day for me.
Oh,
like I'm going to put a
wow.
lot of effort into this, and I'm going to really eventize it, and I'm going to get romantic and get
Oh,
fully nude.
Wow.
You know, just really spoil myself.
Great.
And those are the only times, which are getting less and less as I age, which is a
Sure.
little bit discouraging.
Well, that happens.
Yeah, just the natural trajectory.
Well, speaking of that,
Okay. All right.
you guys couldn't figure out how to say ostracization, but it's ostracization. Now I
Uh-oh.
can't say it.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Ostracization.
Nailed it.
It is that. Ostracization.
Ostracization.
Ostracization. Why can't I do it?
Well, there's too many C's being used as S's in there and stuff.
Yeah, and if
I hate our fucking English.
I actually don't think it's the word. It's not a real word. Now people are using it, so now it's on like Wiktionary, but it's not. It didn't come up immediately, so it's not even a real
You
word.
just say ostracized.
That's
or ostracized.
They've been ostracized, yeah.
Yeah, past
or they're
tense.
being ostracized.
Yeah.
Or you're ostracizing them.
Yeah, we don't
But
need that other.
ostracization.
No, there's no need to use it that way.
Anywho, oh, you know what? I'm going to fact check myself because I said that our 98% of our audience is female. Now, I don't know the exact percentage, but it's probably not 98%.
No.
But it's high.
No, it's high, but it's not that.
It's not that. I just said that
Well, in
out of my butt.
the only metrics we really have to guess this on is how many people are following on the social media accounts, which are predominantly female, but I think like 80%, right? Not in the 90s.
I think in the 80s or something, but we just don't know.
We don't know because then it begats the question: do women follow more on Instagram than men?
That was my theory.
Yeah, I think Instagram's more a female platform percentage wise than.
Again.
Apparently, YouTube's supposed to be a real male platform.
Okay.
I don't
Yep.
know.
We're 86% women on Instagram.
On
80
Instagram.
86 on social, we'll say then.
Okay.
But that, again, that doesn't mean anything really.
Right. There could be like a husband and wife, and the wife follows on Instagram and the husband doesn't.
And I just don't feel like guys care that much about like seeing pictures of us.
Interesting.
Maybe the girls do.
Although we're supposed to be more visual, aren't we? Well, I guess that's just for sexual stuff.
Probably. I
I guess women seem to really enjoy pictures of food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pictures of home goods
Furnishings.
and pictures of periods.
Oh, here we go. TYLMML.
I know. Okay, so Thomas said he thinks McDonald's is a terrible corporation.
Okay.
And I know people think that, but I was like, why do people think that? I'm just out of the loop.
Uh-huh.
But I got into the loop a little bit.
Oh, tell me.
But I don't.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
I guess just that we have a obesity epidemic in the country. We have a heart disease epidemic in the country, and I think the food they serve is associated with some of those. Is that what it is?
I think that's part of it. It's like a luring in to bad habits,
and
kind of.
And they were one of the first companies to advertise towards kids specifically,
Exactly.
and build playgrounds at the restaurant.
Yeah, and
all that.
toys and all of that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I think that is part of this, and I think there's like some exploitation of workers, according to some people, and world's largest user of beef.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But if you read Fast Food Nation, which was a fascinating book,
Mhm.
I love that book. You get the history of all these chains. You get a history of potato production. J.R. Simplot, the potato baron of Idaho.
Oh.
And in that book, they said, the buying power of McDonald's is so enormous that they have made policy. The reason we didn't have GMOs here, and they did have them in other places, was simply that McDonald's said they would not buy GMO, genetically modified potatoes. So there was no potato grower in the country that could afford to not be selling to McDonald's. And so I think, like in that book, Fast Food Nation, they were urging them to put some guidelines on poultry production and beef because they just have so much sway over all the industries.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, bad for the environment. All those things. But
let's just be honest. You and I eat at McDonald's.
yeah, we've eaten there.
Yeah.
We don't eat there.
No, like I'd say every 6 months you and I.
Yeah,
that
probably
fair?
twice a year. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say so.
yeah.
Well, mainly for the French fries.
The fries are so good. But I love a Big Mac with extra sauce and extra cheese.
Yeah, I know.
But I have no stance on this other than I like it a couple times a year. And I don't think that I could eat it daily and still take my shirt off on TV. That's my guess.
I think that's a really good guess.
Judging
also
from
think
Super Size Me.
Probably wouldn't feel ethical about doing that.
Right. This is a good point. So we had dinner with Sam Harris, and he said, the thing no one really talks about is the two options seem to be vegan or go bananas, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like all you hear. Those are the two camps. He's like, but if the effect that it would have globally for people to just maybe eat meat 3 days a week.
Well, I think that's the new trend. Is like
Is it?
meatless Mondays and things like that. Like people are trying to be more moderate about their
that seems like a
meat
much
intake.
more appealing
Yeah.
to me stance on it.
I
or more
agree.
realistic too.
More realistic for sure.
And it can have a gigantic impact if people were to cut out meat half the week.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's happening in places. I don't know that it's so.
Moderation's hard
Stark.
though for me.
Yeah. I feel like you eat well.
Eating, yeah, I do okay eating.
Yeah.
But even that really, if you notice, I pretty much eat perfect and then I eat terrible.
That's how I am too.
Yeah, I eat like
I know.
almost perfect 5 days a week, and then I eat like a deranged Tasmanian devil for 2 days.
I know. Yesterday I ate 2 pieces of lasagna
Ooh.
at different times of the day and 2 pieces of pie also at different times of the day, a whole sandwich.
And then this morning you had the protein breakfast
Yeah, but that was
to counteract.
healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't like just eating a little bit bad each day, but mostly good. That's harder for me than eating perfect 5 days and then terrible for 2 days. But it's working. I'm not morbidly obese.
No.
Yeah.
I know. But it's just a matter of like how you feel when you're eating those things. I think that's really for me.
I like it. I use it as a celebration quite often.
Yeah.
If like something good I've been working for comes to fruition. I can't drink. I can't light up a cigarette. Can't rip a couple lines. So what do? I get on the phone. Beep, 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 beep.
Here it
Thank you
is.
for
Yep.
calling Lucifer's Pizza, right?
Sure.
And there we are.
I
Or
agree.
you've been very generous because, I've been working really, really hard the last few weeks. And so you were like, hey, I picked you up your favorite chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Super considerate and kind.
You're welcome.
And so I use it to kind of,
Well, I also wanted it.
yeah, sure. Let's win on both sides. Win-win, as they say.
Yeah.
But I've been using it a little bit as,
Treating yourself.
a treat,
Yeah.
a reward.
Yeah. I do that. I do that too. I think people do that, and that's okay.
Sure.
But as long as you're not treating yourself every day, because then
Yeah.
it's not a treat anymore.
No,
then it's just your
status
routine.
quo, yeah.
Quid pro quo.
Quid pro quo.
Oh, I thought this was really interesting. He said that he thought like every 10 years, men learn a new lesson. He used the phrase like 10 years ago, I had to learn to say like, do you wanna? And now you can't say, do you wanna? And I just want to clarify a little bit. We talked about it for a second on the thing, but I in fact think it's sort of the opposite. Like I think asking, do you wanna is what people are sort of requiring now, is like the question and not the assumption. Even though sometimes it's not very romantic.
I know.
I know. Anyway.
Just going to grab a condom and some paperwork. Just going to get a signature. And
I know, but I don't think it, again,
no,
with
that's
this
people
all or
real.
nothing.
I know. Everyone's
Yeah.
overreacting.
Yeah.
I get it.
Dude. But
I'm glad I don't even have to worry about it or deal with it,
That's
to be
true.
honest.
You don't have to. But you should still
Grew up
care
in a
because you have
simpler
children.
time.
I know, but
Yeah.
your children will be involved.
But I got to wait to ask them what they want. I can't assume for them what they want.
No,
Yeah. I'll have to ask, and then I'll promote that.
sure. Oh, I mean, just real quick, because I don't know if our audience is super familiar with this, but Thomas is like huge in the improv community because he did the Improvised Shakespeare Company, which is this very respected improv group. And they're amazing. And then he also is a part of Baby Wants Candy, which is this really phenomenal singing musical improv.
Ooh. We used to do that at the Groundlings, right? They would call out genres of things. And I always dreaded if it was Shakespeare. Ugh.
Yes.
I can't speak like that. My English accent blows.
Iambic
When you hear how bad my
pentameter.
Australian one is, just imagine how my English one sounds.
I doubt that. I'm sure it's pretty good.
I certainly couldn't talk first in a scene. I can start imitating how other people are talking, but I can't start that up on my own.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I needed like Deep South, Tennessee Williams, that kind of genre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do well with that. Talking about mint juleps and stuff.
Oh, I like
yeah,
a
there's
mint
tricks.
julep.
There's tricks.
There are tricks.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, okay. So you guys are talking about SNL auditions, and you kind of vaguely both say something quick about Will Ferrell and the cat thing. So then I watched you can watch his audition on YouTube, and it's very funny.
Yeah.
And he does this thing where he's basically just being a cat
For a
for
long
like
time.
a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really funny. Did Brad Pitt get his teeth removed for Fight Club? He chipped his teeth on purpose. He went to the dentist and got his teeth chipped.
Oh, I had always heard that he had a previous half-tooth injury that he had capped, and then he just had the cap removed to re-expose that.
Oh, that happened to Jim Carrey for Dumb and Dumber.
Oh.
But for Fight Club, he had his teeth chipped.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
Probably not great.
Ay,
I can only imagine. Not very good.
no.
Then he got them fixed.
I hope he was anesthetized. I
He
guess they're
probably
just
wasn't because
grinding.
he was training for Fight Club and he wanted to be
Oh.
tough.
Okay. That's a sexy version.
Yeah. That's all.
What if he just had a dumbbell in his right hand? And every time the pain got hard, he just did a curl for the girl.
Oh.
Curls for the girls. You know?
For the girls. I've never heard that.
You haven't heard curls for the girls?
No.
Charlie and Ryan and I always talk about curls for the girls.
Oh. My God.
There's a lot of different things. There's a pool pump. You know, that's just a light little,
What does that mean?
before you hit the pool,
Okay.
you just do a pool pump. It's just a 15-minute to wake up all the muscles. A couple curls for the girls.
Oh my gosh. I'm so wow.
You've been the beneficiary of the pool pump and not even known it.
Yeah, mercifully, I think.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't know
Like
it.
when
It
we were
takes
in-
it away when you know it.
That's true. It becomes weirdly.
It's like behind the curtain. You don't
it's
want
not
that.
actually masculine when you think about
It's
it now.
not.
But when when we were in Fallbrook, there's always a little pool pump happening before.
Oh, I thought you guys were just working out. Didn't know it
for
was
the
like
pool.
Oh, I did not know
Yeah,
that. I
pool
thought
pump.
you were just doing it for your body.
Well, we were, but also there was pool time ahead, and so officially you could call it a pool pump.
Wow.
Girls for the girls.
Ugh.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, boys are so dumb.
They really
And by the way,
are.
once we got to the pool, the only one noticing the curls, the result of the curls is each other.
Of course.
Yeah, we're looking
I
at
don't
Charlie's
remember.
pump,
you
pool pump,
guys.
looking at Ryan's leg pool pump. I don't know if anyone's looking at any of my pool pump, but if anyone was, it was certainly the guys there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No. We could care less about the pool pump.
I know. Well, I don't know. I guess it'll keep us healthier.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't expose that myth because it's still keeping us healthy.
I don't think it's going to stop you.
That's true.
I think you're going to keep pool pumping.
Well, I love you,
Love you.
and I love all the musicians that helped us that night.
Me too.
That was awesome to hear Jackie and Hannah and Kristen all sing.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome.
And Bird.
That whistle is the most incredible sound my ears have ever heard.
You love it.
Oh, my God.
Oh my
Becky.
Oh my whistle.
Look at that whistle. For real. I love that.
Yeah, I got you going. Between that and the handshake, I'm surprised we even got
What
you out
a
on
night.
stage.
I
yeah.
know. What a night.
All right. I
All
love
right.
you.
Love you too.